Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new reaction. Today we're going to be reacting to Five Nights at Freddy's from 2023 Kill Count. I am aware this guy has made a 2025 Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Kill Count, and I plan to react to that sometime after this video. But if this reaction gets if you guys like this reaction, make sure to leave a big fat thumbs up, and if you guys like this reaction enough, I will react to Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Kill Count. So, yeah. This guy is named Dead Meat. He's done kill counts for various other horror franchises, from Child's Play to Scream to Halloween to Friday the 13th to Nightmare on Elm Street. If I'm wiping my nose, it's because I think I'm sick. I'm not too sure, but hopefully I'm not. But yeah, let's not waste any more time and get straight to the reaction.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James H. and today we're looking at Five Nights at Freddy's, released in 2023. Five Nights at Freddy's, or FNAF to fans, is based on the viral video game franchise of the same name. FNAF takes place at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a Chuck E. Cheese-style restaurant plagued by animatronic animosity. It's hard to know where to start with FNAF. Released in 2014,
yeah.
The indie horror game Five Nights at Freddy's was created in just 6 months by a single man, Scott Cawthon, who at that point was developing family-friendly Christian adventure games. Yep. One of his efforts, Chipper and Sons Lumber Co., was criticized for its unintentionally creepy characters, so Cawthon decided to repurpose the art style for a horror game.
He was like, you guys want creepy animatronics? Well, I'll give you creepy animatronics.
It's quickly blossomed into a full-on media franchise, currently consisting of 9 main games, multiple spin-off games, novels, comics, an assload of merchandise, and a haunted house in Las Vegas. What? FNAF's success is due in part to its complicated
and it's in Halloween Horror Nights as well.
Picked apart and analyzed by countless internet sleuths. With such a rabid fan base, a film adaptation was all but inevitable, but it languished in development hell for many years, going back to 2015. Blumhouse finally delivered the long-awaited project in October 2023, and even though it was available on Peacock opening day, it grossed nearly $300 million worldwide.
That is insane.
I never got into Five Nights, but I was happy to see this movie's success. I think the acting is solid and that it's shot well, thanks to the cast and the direction by Emma Tammy. And the animatronics, created by the geniuses at the Jim Henson Creature Shop, are absolutely incredible.
Wonderful.
They look like they were ripped straight out of the games. But
that's what I've been saying. They look like they've literally been ripped straight out of the video games.
Played the first game a couple of times, and if you don't know the lore, this movie is confusing and honestly pretty slow. As a film, I found it kind of mid. But the truth is,
I have seen some criticisms on Five Nights at Freddy's, the movies stuff, and I guess it just doesn't tailor towards them like it does me and you guys.
Fucking matter what I think. This thing was made for the fans, and by all accounts, those fans seem to love it, so I'm thrilled for them.
I knew we needed to make a movie that was going to land with the fans, and that was Jason Blum's priority and Scott's as well.
I mean, if this gets kids excited to watch scenes of people talking and kick-ass practical animatronics, then yes, make 1 million more, please. Especially since it doesn't dumb things down for its younger audience, even though it's not overly complicated. It's got foreshadowing and themes and good lighting. It's a fine little movie, and I'm happy that it made so many people happy. Will our characters survive their 5 nights with Freddy, or will they punch out early from their security shift? Let's find out and get to the kills.
The kills.
The movie begins with a Chuck E. chase. A security guard is crawling and walking his way through Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, because he's done with the monitoring and whatever's on the other side of that door.
Foxy.
I think it's something foxy. This dum-dum can't outrun those dum-dums, so he gets knocked out and strapped down. He's about to be put in an animatronic suit, and you know what they say about those masks.
So you can imagine how having your head forcibly pressed inside one of those could cause a bit of discomfort
and death.
The guard is killed when the mask gives him an off-screen Fazbear facial. What? Ew. 8-bit opening credits pay homage to the arcade minigames featured in several of the FNAF sequels. They show someone suited up as a yellow bunny. Wonder who?
Iconic
minigames,
by the way.
One by one. Where you taking them, bunny? Where's the sprite string? Mike Schmidt is also a security guard, only he works at the local mall. That is, until he witnesses what seems to be a kidnapping, which causes him to hulk out and baptize the guy with a beatdown. Unfortunately, he misread the situation.
Yeah, he beat up
Come
the
on,
kid's
Mike,
dad.
what the fuck was that?
That was a mistake.
Yeah, it was. Now you've got Shaggy yelling at you. He's
Shaggy?
fired and has a meeting with a career counselor
'Cause
named Steve Raglan.
it's Matthew Lillard.
Count. Steve, totally his real name, is played by Matthew Lillard, a two-time kill count veteran and one-time prime rib presenter. Thanks again for that, man. Steve is initially dismissive since Schmidt is a shit employee, but for some reason his tune changes after seeing Mike's last name.
I have a job for you.
Maybe you
Like,
noticed
that's
that
not
Mike is
suspicious.
named after the first game's protagonist. He offers Mike a secure ship at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
You only have to worry about one thing.
The killer animatronics.
Keeping people out.
Oh, could have sworn it was the killer animatronics. Steve
Both.
sells the job as a real winner.
How's the pay?
Not great. But the hours are worse.
Those hours are the graveyard shift, which Mike says he can't work. He needs to prioritize his nightly routine, which consists of pills, posters, and nature sounds. All this ambience is to help him lucidly dream about a childhood camping trip. He was supposed to be watching over his little brother Garrett,
Yep,
but got
and
distracted
then that
didn't
kid
notice when
gone-
Garrett went
got-
off with a stranger. Not even
got-
aging
gone
into PETA is enough for
scoop-
Mike to change the past, and his dream always
Not
ends
like
with Garrett's
circus
abduction.
baby
But he
scoop,
thinks
but
that by
like-
visiting the instant in
or-
his dreams,
or-
he might remember a clue he's
just a
forgotten
location
and
scoop.
finally
You
find
know what
out
I
what's
mean.
happened to his bro. Mike is now
He
the
got
guardian
scooped
of
up
his
and
little
kidnapped.
sister Abby, who likes dinosaurs and building tents. They have an Aunt Jane who thinks Mike shouldn't be watching over the youngin, even though he's a well-meaning guy. I mean, besides the whole assaulting a dad.
Yeah. So
Quit
freaking
crying,
true.
kid. He was doing it because he cares. The shopping malling gives Aunt Jane a name to claim Abby for herself, hoping to collect them foster child funds. She intends on taking sole custody of Abby with the help of her fearsome lawyer, Doug. Tremble before him! Knowing that he'll need to look good in front of a judge, Mike calls up Steve Raglan to take him up on his job offer. We're less than 20 minutes into this thing, and we're already...
Doug's just like, I don't want to be here. I really don't want to be here.
at Freddy's. I love how we ain't fazzy-footing around. Mike's first night begins with a phone call from Steve, giving him the lowdown.
This place was
Hello?
huge in the 80s with the kids.
Hello?
Steve's phone call is in the style of Phone Guy, your supervisor in the games who provides you with instructions via voicemail.
Hello?
This place's security system is dated but extensive, with cameras and lights everywhere, except probably right outside the office. And of course, since this is FNAF, the power situation ain't
It
great.
sucks.
The electricity is a bit iffy.
Mike settles into the office, which is a mostly accurate rendition of the one from
Yeah.
the game, complete with a fan,
Yeah.
striped sippy drink, and ball of tinfoil. The only unrealistic thing is that Mike's not booping the nose on that Celebrate poster.
So remember,
That's one of the biggest things that I didn't like about the movie.
these characters
Production designer Mark Visicella added tons of set deck Easter eggs, including
He
a
should have
prize
at
counter
least,
filled with the second
even
game's fun time.
even if it didn't make that iconic honk, I don't care. He should have just tapped it at least.
Animatronics, and a nod to Chica's Magic Rainbow, the main antagonist of FNAF World, a spin-off
And even
RPG.
if so, you
Freddy
could
uses
edit the
Jigsaw
boop,
employee
dude.
training
It's not that
techniques, so
hard.
Mike pops his
I
tape
could
in and
literally
watches
do
a
it.
retro training video. The video covers the Disneyland level tech that goes into Fazbear's
Disneyland
animatronics.
level
But right when it's
tech.
turning into a how it's made
Very
out of
true,
dancing
though.
robots, the tape gets spooky, so Mike doesn't fully see them in action. All he knows is that he must protect this proprietary technology, a job duty that doubles as a tongue twister. FNAF's dedication to its source material was guided by the game's creator, Scott Cawthon. He co-produced the movie and helped keep the lore and animatronic design true to the IP. He also wrote the initial draft of the screenplay, which director Emma Tammy and co-writer Seth Cudback then expanded on to flesh out the characters and story. Instead of doing his job, Mike keeps up
By the way, in my personal opinion, I definitely like the second movie better than the first one. And that movie was completely written by Scott Cawthon and no one else, so.
nightly routine of trauma dreaming. It's the same old,
Whoever
until Mike
says that
stumbles upon
Scott
5
Cawthon
little
does not
birthday
write good
guests,
movies
tries to pry
is-
them for information.
That's wrong in my
Did you see
opinion.
who took my brother?
But their response is less than helpful. Mike wakes up and ends his shift when the clock strikes 6 o'clock. He returns home to relieve his babysitter Max, not knowing that she's been working with Aunt Jane
The
to collect
ding-dong,
evidence against
ding-dong
Mike.
sound
She and her brother
effects for the
Jeff meet
first
with
game.
Jane at a diner where they're waited on by YouTuber MadPat.
You do realize that lunch is the most
W cameo,
important
by
meal
the
of
way.
Thought it was
W cameo.
breakfast.
Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory.
It's a well-deserved cameo, seeing as his game theory videos helped kick off FNAF's explosive success.
Yeah.
In fact, MatPat's cameo was the very first scene filmed for the movie. Matt's not the only FNAF creator featured in the film. The Employee of the Month wall in the background includes several
As
streamers.
a whole bunch of different YouTubers. Like you could see Daco right there. You can see Raz down here, or is that 8-Bit Ryan? I don't know. But Fusion is right here. You may not know that, but that is actually Fusion right there. Like right here, you know.
like 8-Bit Ryan, Razbowski,
Yep.
Baz, Fusion Z Gamer, and Dawko. Markiplier was also asked to appear as the security guard who bites it in the opening sequence, but he had to turn it down to work on his own upcoming horror film,
Iron Lung.
Max can't find any evidence of wrongdoing, so Jane pays them to fuck with Mike's employment by trashing the pizzeria. Then he'll get fired, and she can take custody. It's the perfect illegal plan.
I just realized I shouldn't be hearing any of this.
On his second night, Mike gets right back to sleep manifesting on the job. But the little Dream Warriors run away again. One little pirate even gives him the hook and a scare bear stare. Mike wakes up to see a police officer at the door trying to buzz her way inside.
About time.
I mean, to be fair, he was acting like Herbert the pervert on a good day.
Is there anything maybe?
What? Who, me? Never. This is Vanessa, a local cop who seems to know more about Freddy's than she's letting on. She sees that Mike has a cut on his arm, the same one that he got in his dream. But this Five Nights at Freddy Krueger shit never comes up
Five
again.
Nights
What the
at
fuck's
Freddy
that all about?
Krueger
She gives Mike the
shit.
grand tour of the restaurant, including a performance by its Robo Band. The song they sing is Talking in Your
Very
Sleep by
true,
the
though.
Romantics, an earwormy reference to Mike's sleeping habits. It plays several times in the film, which is great. I love when movies have a signature needle drop, like in You're Next, Us, and The Lost Boys. The band includes the 4 animatronics from the original game. Guitarist Bonnie, a blue bunny who's not voiced by Zoran, Chica, a chicken on backup vocal,
Yeah, if you didn't know, Bonnie is actually supposed to be blue. The lighting in the game just makes him look purple.
who has a sidekick named Mr. Cupcake, Party Pirate Foxy, who I guess is just there for, vibes, and the band leader, Freddy Fazbear himself. Tammy knew from the get-go the animatronics would be the focal point of the
Foxy is mainly there for theming. I feel like.
film.
They are part of the cast and the characters that the fans are the most familiar with actually going into this film.
The difficult task of bringing them to life went to the team at Jim Henson's Creature Shop, under the supervision of lead designer Robert Bennett. The team created full-sized animatronics of the mascots, as well as suits worn by stunt performers. Jade Kinder Martin played Bonnie, Jess Weiss played Chica, and Kevin Foster played Freddy. Foster's actually been added to the kill count before, in Jurassic World. It wasn't easy for them to perform in these heavy suits.
I have a helmet that's about 16 pounds, and I call it a helmet because it's full. I'm in there, and I don't really have any visibility whatsoever.
Occasionally, puppeteers had to
Yeah, if you guys don't know, inside the actual movie, the actors for the animatronics actually can't see shit.
step in to operate their arms and hands, while additional performers controlled the eyes, ears, and mouth off screen. Even though this jam session rocks, things aren't all fun and games at the pizzeria. Vanessa mentions
Not
that
even
some
Matthew Lillard could see anything.
kids went missing there in the 80s, which grabs Mike's attention since missing kids is kind of his whole thing. But she drives off before they can unravel that thread, leaving Mike to lock up for the day. He's spied on by Max's brother Jeff, who initiates Operation Fuck Up Fazbears. He and his gang of ruffians break into the pizzeria and promptly start causing all
I love
sorts of
that
trouble.
good name.
How do you wind
Operation
up with this
Fuck
group
Up
of people? But how do you know
Fazbear.
this guy? A dude named Carl is poking through the kitchen when he's jump scared by Chica, who promptly sicks Mr. Cupcake on him. His buddy Hank hears the commotion and discovers Carl getting his face skin licked off like frosting.
Nom
Jeff is
nom.
hanging out in the security room when he sees Hank on the monitor screaming like a maniac. Hank tries to hide, but winds up locking himself in with Bonnie, who
Rip.
reduces him to a bloody version of the Titanic handprint. Jeff arrives just in time to see
What?
Boogie Bunny
Titanic
Bonnie emerging from the
handprint?
closet. He runs away and holes up in the security room, where he narrowly avoids a sneak attack by Mr. Cupcake. In the games, Mr. Cupcake is basically a static prop, but he's promoted to full-on killer robot status in the movie. Director
I love
Tammy
that.
admitted production was a
I
little
love that so
obsessed with
much.
Cupcake, who was able to be incorporated into more scenes due to his small size. Jeff tries to escape, but is foiled by a locked door. Sucks for him, since the Scat Man's on his way again.
Foxy.
The Dum-Dums come courtesy of Foxy, who hums a similar ditty in the original game. He runs down the hallway and puts an end to Jeff with another move cribbed from his in-game behavior. Perfect! No!
Markiplier.
While the other characters could be played by humans, Foxy was a full animatronic puppet who required 6 performers just to make him walk.
We have one on the head, one on the face, one on the arms. We have 2 on the feet, and then we have one that runs the rig, which pushes up and down and allows Foxy to sort of tilt forward and move his body up
That's
and
a
down.
lot.
Freaky Fox was a danger off-screen too. At one point, an overheating servo.
I heard about that. That at one point there was an overheating servo, and
Nearly lit him on fire.
Someone on my team said, Foxy's smoking. I was like, yeah, Foxy's smoking.
No, it's actually
And they're like,
smoking.
no, it's smoking. I look back and I'm like, oh, it's smoking.
Max, who's been waiting in the getaway car, goes inside to see what's taking so long.
Foxy had a Smoked a little bit too much last night.
She encounters a little boy who runs away telling her to follow
The animatronics get a bit quirky at night.
him, sounding exactly like an NPC.
Follow me. Come on.
A set this size would typically be built in parts, but production built Fazbear's Pizza as one continuous location, allowing the actors to move between rooms like it were an actual building. Next winds up in a workshop full of broken toys. One of the animatronics there is Sparky the dog, a supposedly hidden character in the first game.
Cameo,
The diner
by the
from
way.
earlier was named after him. Sparky turned out to be just an internet urban legend.
Yep.
I guess Gen Z's version of the Mew under the truck by the SS Anne. Max follows the boy's voice to a Freddy suit in the corner and abandons any and all sense of logic when she sticks her face straight in its maw. She's
So
pulled
true.
inside and literally bites the dust. Wait, was that the bite of 87?
No,
I know it wasn't, so please don't yell at me.
That
in
was
the
the bite of
comments.
2000.
Please don't yell at me in the comments. Vanessa visits Mike to inform him of the damage done by
For the
Jeff and
record,
his
this
crew.
movie takes place in the year 2000.
He accuses him of being too drugged up for the job, having found his stash of sleepy pills, so he opens up about his traumatic childhood and why he spends so much time sleeping.
Every single thing that you see, your entire lifetime, the tiniest of details, gets stored inside of you.
I mean, no, that is not how the brain works, but Mike believes it is, which is why he keeps searching his dream memories for clues. He also reveals his father abandoned him and Abby after their mother died, who I guess is enough of a character to add to the count. Honestly, I don't even know my own rules sometimes. Vanessa is played by Elizabeth Lale, last seen on the Kill Counted Countdown, while Mike is played by Josh Hutcherson, star of The Hunger Games and TikTok fan cams. His horror credit.
Yeah, literally the only movie my mom noticed Josh Hutcherson from was freaking Hunger Games.
Includes slashers like Detention and Tragedy Girls, the latter of which was penned by Tyler McIntyre and Chris Lee Hill, who have story-by credits on FNAF alongside game creator Scott Cawthon. In light of his tragic backstory, Vanessa agrees not to file a police report, but insists that Mike stay awake and alert when he's working around the animatronics. With his usual babysitter, Bitten and Hyoff, Mike is forced to bring Abby along on his next shift. She's gonna have to sleep on the floor, but she's still excited, because there's nothing kids love more than a cleaning montage! Yeah! I love watching dudes clean restaurants in my horror movies. All that cleaning gets Mike tuckered out, so he, you guessed it, takes another nap on the clock. He grills his new dream friend for info.
Help me remember the man who took my brother.
But the kid ghosts him, leaving behind a dirt bunny for Mike.
I see what you did there. Ghosts him because he's a literal ghost.
While he's sleeping, Abby gets up to poke around for more lively playmates. She screams and wakes Mike up, who finds her surrounded by Fazbear and friends. He's ready to go to Town to take his bear down, but don't worry, Mikey. Abby's just having some wholesome fun.
They wouldn't stop tickling me.
This rock band just wants to play. Wink. And though they don't like Mike.
Tickling, you say? Okay, let me get on the phone with Steve Hansen right now. Was his name Steve Hansen? No, it's Chris Hansen. Shoot.
They're held at bay by Abby and her cutesy doodles.
Well, we got on the
realizes
phone with
Abby's
Chris
most
Hansen,
recent
then.
illustrations look like a page out of his dream journal. Them's those damn dream kids he keeps seeing. Turns out Abby's been getting drawing prompts from beyond the veil.
All they talk about is a yellow rabbit.
Mike takes Abby back to Freddy's the next night so she can probe her new friends for more details about Garrett's kidnapping. When they get there, they
evilness
find
of the
Vanessa
yellow
admiring
rabbit.
Abby's artwork. Mike pulls her aside to ask her what the fuck the animatronics are.
Ghost children possessing giant robots.
Oh,
Ding, ding, ding.
actually sounds like he picked up on it pretty quickly. So it seems like the ghost kids from his dreams are the ones kidnapped in the 80s, with each of them representing a Robo band member. And Abby Original kicks off a goofy fort building montage set to Connection by Elastic.
And to be fair, it is kind of obvious to know which spirit possesses which animatronic, to be fair.
I can't say I expected this cheesy ass sequence, but you know what? I still find it kind of cute.
And now, thanks to the Dead by Daylight collaboration, we know all of their names. Because Susie, Fritz, and Jeremy, I'm pretty sure, were their names are exposed in the book trilogy. And recently we got Freddy's hat with Gabriel's name in the description.
But, oh man, did they really want to lay on that nasty-ass carpet? You know it's full of dirt and gum and pee, probably. Despite the hijinks, Fazbear's Pizza is far from kid-friendly, if this dolly death trap is anything to go off of. Some fans think this peepless creeper is Circus Baby, a recurring enemy in the games. However,
No, if you guys haven't read the books, which you probably haven't, that is not Circus Baby, not even close. That is Ella from the original trilogy, and then also, I think it was 1:45 a.m., something like that.
She appears to be more closely based on
1:35
Ella,
a.m.?
the character from the FNAF
Yep.
novels. It's a pretty obscure character to be sure, though still relevant enough to get her own Funko Pop. By the way, thank you,
Really?
writer Tim, for providing all of this information.
It's still, I'm gonna have to add it to my collection then.
Because, like I said earlier, I don't know jack shit about this series. Vanessa explains that Fazbear's older animatronics were also worn as suits. These pokey prongs, called spring locks, were designed to keep the suit's robo-bits in place. Unfortunately, they tend to get a little more bear-trappy as they age. If that wasn't scary enough, Abby shreds too hard and knocks herself unconscious. Vanessa gets mad that Mike endangered his sister by bringing her here, but, I mean, you know, it doesn't mean they can't still hook up, right?
If you ever bring Abby back here again, I will shoot you.
So that's... So maybe? The night's events convince Mike he's an unfit guardian. Abby wakes up the next morning to the smell of burnt bacon and bad news. Mike's gonna let Aunt Jane take custody of her after all. Aw,
I'm
Abby,
kidding.
I know it
For
sucks.
legal reasons,
Just channel
that's
that
a joke.
anger into your art. Mike runs away from his responsibilities and back to Freddy's to take a nap. This time in his dreams, Garrett is conspicuously unkidnapped. The Boo Crew
Yep,
shows
he
up
never
and
got
offers
kidnapped in this stream.
Mike a deal. He can have a nightly reunion with his loving family, all at the
Every
low, low
single
price of his
night.
little sister.
We want Abby.
A conflicted Mike agrees to the deal, but thinks about it for like 2 more seconds and regrets it immediately. Sucks for him though, because now the kids are gone and so is the family
So like, no tape backs.
he traded for. What the fuck? Mike wakes up and finds himself strapped in the same perilous position as his predecessor.
Oh,
He manages to
fun.
free himself and stumbles upon the bodies of Max and her friends, who have been stuffed into various Fazbear brand suits. Max appears to be stuffed inside Shadow Freddy, a purple variant of Freddy. Ooh. Mike makes it to the back entrance, where he nearly falls victim to Foxy's song and dance before escaping. I love this cable system they used for Foxy's sprint down the hallway. It's great. Back home, Aunt Jane is too distracted by her nightly infomercials to notice she has a surprise guest. Abby
Because
emerges.
it's way too hard to freaking move, run, sprint down a hall with a fully fledged puppet in your hand, like a puppet that's bigger than a human size.
From her room to find Freddy and lead Ghost Kid waiting for her. She'll just have to ignore Aunt Jane lying on the floor over there. Lead
Yeah,
Kid tells Abby she's sleeping, and it's
By
possible
the way, she's either sleeping or knocked out because inside the sequel, spoilers, but inside the sequel, she's mentioned.
only knocked out, but I'm making a judgment call and saying she did. To get to
Nah,
Fazbear's,
she
Abby
is
and Freddy
just-
take a cab driven by streamer Corey X Kenshin. Corey's played these games a lot before, so he agrees to take the Freddy Faz Fair.
Why do I always get the weirdos?
You might notice that this Freddy is more Faz beaten up compared to his appearance at the restaurant. That's because this isn't Freddy.
This is
Ghost Kid
Golden
even says
Freddy.
so.
Not Freddy.
It's actually Golden Freddy,
Yep.
a ghostly entity who serves as the overarching antagonist of the first game. Fans of the games might have caught his iconic "It's me" written on a mirror earlier.
I
or
saw
noticed
that
his signature
first watch in
glowing
the
right
theater.
eye.
I
He's who
loved
the lead
it.
Ghost Kid represents, but he phantom vanishes once they arrive at the restaurant. We catch up with Mike at a random police supply outpost that Vanessa must have brought him to off-screen. He's pissed at her for not warning him about the homicidal robots.
You saw Abby playing with them. And you knew what they were capable of, and you didn't say anything.
Yeah, maybe he should be the one threatening to shoot her. Actually, no, that probably wouldn't end well. Vanessa finally comes clean about Fazbear's dark history. She reveals the ghost children are being controlled by William Afton, the owner of Fazbear's Pizzeria, who murdered them in the 80s. The cops searched the restaurant for the missing kids, but Afton was a cruel and clever man who hid the evidence away in a disturbing place.
It's not just their ghosts that are inside of those machines. It's their bodies.
And how does Vanessa know all this? Well, because there's one more thing to know about William Afton. He's Vanessa's father! It's a flip on the game lore.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, in the game lore, Elizabeth is William Afton's daughter, and Michael is William Afton's oldest son, and Crying Child is William Afton's youngest son.
Where William Afton is Mike's dad, not Vanessa's. Vanessa does appear in the 9th game as a security guard and is revealed to be a follower of Glitch Trap, a murderous mascot who's implied to be William.
Okay, this is a bit outdated, but like, we know that it's not fully Afton. Glitch Trap is not fully Afton. It is mostly M1, the Mimic.
Afton's ghost? God damn it, there's a lot of lore in these games. Tammy knew up
It's basically just mimicking William Afton's actions.
front they wouldn't be able to cover everything in the film.
The lore is massive, and there was no way we were ever going to fit everything into one film, nor was it the intention.
Sure. But she and Cawthon both agreed that Afton would be crucial to include, and made sure to tie the film to the story of the first game. As a final blow, Mike recognizes Garrett's toy in a photo and realizes William Afton is the man who kidnapped his brother long ago. Oh, it's personal now. Vanessa's too scared of her dad to help Mike, but arms him with a bunch of tasers, since they'll mess with the animatronic circuitry. Mike takes her cruiser back to Freddy's, where he diehards his way inside. He disables Freddy and Bonnie with a bucket of water and a well-placed taser shot. Chica, however, is
I've never
absent.
seen Die Hard, I
Abby
just
to the
found that
back,
funny.
where a mechanical makeover awaits her. Mike arrives just in time to save her, but their escape is hampered by that pesky cupcake. Mike shocks his foe into submission, giving Abby a chance to ball Apocalypse Now into a hiding spot. When Mike tries to find her, he
Into
runs
the
into a
pit.
yellow bunny, the foreboding figure all over
William
Fazbear's
Afton.
wall of drawings, and the 8-bit opening credits. Mike tries to use his taser, but this ain't no robot. This is William Afton in the flesh.
Yep.
Or rather, in the suit. A yellow
Both.
variant of Bonnie known in the games as Spring Bonnie. Abby's nearly found by Foxy, and Hilly's put down by a Deus Ex Machina. It's Vanessa, who's decided to come help out after all. But they'd better hurry, since Afton wastes no time disarming Mike and kicking the absolute shit out of him.
Just leave it alone. Lucky me.
Afton reveals he murdered Garrett shortly after kidnapping him, so I'll go ahead and put him on the count. The kid killer is positively
Garrett is
thrilled he
dead.
gets to complete the set by murdering Mike right now.
Symmetry, my friend.
He summons forth Fazbear and friends to finish off Mike, but Vanessa shows up and holds her father at gunpoint.
I would make a joke, but if I made that joke, you guys would be so mad at me. If I made that joke, you guys would be so freaking unbelievably mad at me.
Between his voice and that ghost-faced knife wipe, you might have guessed Afton's identity before he removes his mask.
Matthew
But if
Lillard.
you didn't, surprise, Sydney, it's Steve Raglan. A reveal that might have been more shocking if Lillard wasn't announced as William Afton back when he was cast. Also, wait, what the fuck? I thought he was supposed to be purple or something. Anyway, major problem.
No. In the game, his sprite is purple. The reason for that is because, well, he's hiding in the shadows.
To Lillard for his physical performance here, considering he couldn't actually see out of his suit, instead relying on Tammy's direction to know what he was doing.
Yeah.
Vanessa gets a shot off on her old man before he regains the upper hand. Abby tends to Mike, who realizes her drawings might be able to save them, since they're how she can communicate with the ghost kid robots. He tells her to show them what really
could've
happened.
just leave it
In the up,
alone,
Abby,
could
it's
you?
drool or die. Afton tries to stifle her art, but he's stopped by Vanessa, who receives a gnarly stab to the stomach for her troubles.
Ow.
Abby pins up her drawing, which depicts Afton's crimes against the kids. It strikes a chord with the animatronics, and after Mike puts a spotlight on the kitty killer, the band finally turns on
The
their
kitty
manager.
killer.
He tries to get them back under his control with some sweet talk.
You are wretched.
Run, little piece.
But for some reason, it doesn't work.
I
Mr.
made
Cupcake takes a
you.
bite out of him, which causes the suit's spring locks to activate. And the
Ow.
scene rips straight from the games. Afton is crushed inside his suit as he defiantly puts
I
his mask back on.
loved this scene. I freaking adored this scene. I was waiting for this scene whole movie.
Always come back.
I know that line comes from the...
Yeah, which honestly, I'll be completely honest, doesn't make sense because unless if the theory of that is correct, that William Afton was originally convicted, so he had to change his name to Steve Ragland to either legally or illegally, it's not confirmed. But he had to change his name to Steve Ragland to get the cops off of his ass.
Games, but I wonder if Cawthon knew it was already a Chucky quote.
I always come back.
Mike and Abby escape with an injured Vanessa as the restaurant begins to collapse, leaving Afton
He
to be
comes
dragged
back.
away to an unpleasant fate.
He
In the film's
always
epilogue,
does.
Abby is shown to be thriving, while Vanessa is shown to be in a coma. Womp womp. Over dinner, Mike and Abby tease a sequel by talking about visiting the animatronics again. The film fades back to a ruined Fazbear's, where Golden Freddy's ghost child stands watch over a seriously messed up Afton. He's not quite ready to go on the count yet, though. If you're familiar with the game lore, you know why. The end credits are scored by the Living Tombstone's Five Nights at Freddy's song,
'Cause he's not
another
dead
early
yet.
viral creation that helped popularize the game. A mid-credits scene sees cab driver Corey
W.
get jump-scared by Balloon Boy, who popped up 2 other times in the movie. In the games, Balloon Boy serves as a recurring nuisance who appears suddenly and messes with the
That
player's
balloon
controls.
fucker.
Finally, the credits end with an eerie voice. It's spells out "Come find me." Another quote associated with that bastard Golden Freddy, who altered my game when my stream tricked me into putting in a secret code. Well, let's see
1987.
what this is.
What happened?
You fucks! How many people wound up biting the big one of 87? Well, I want to tell you, but I'm not sure where to go from here.
May I suggest the numbers?
Oh, is that MatPat? He got MatPat in on this?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you, Ness, but the problem is I haven't come up with a good to the numbers bit yet.
Oh, that's no big deal.
Are you sure? Because I feel like some people think a kill count's only as good as its to the numbers gag.
Well, some people do say that, but, you know, it's just a theory.
Game.
Kill count theory?
Okay, you ruined it.
Yeah, I guess it would be that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, alright, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, please. Yeah, let's end this bit.
The numbers.
I counted 8 kills in 5 Nights at Freddy's, though I'm sure there's room for...
The cupcake up in the guy's skull and the freaking lady. Or freaking Max just snapped in half.
There. The victims consisted of 5 males and 3 females, giving us this Fazbear Pizza pie chart. We've seen this count and breakdown in 9 previous kill counts before. With a runtime of 109 minutes, that left us with a kill on average every 13.63 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to Max. Though it's mostly done in shadow form to retain that PG-13 rating, it's still
The Bite of
gnarly and a nice
87.
nod to the Bite of 87. Double Machete for lamest kill will go to Aunt Jane, since I'm not even entirely sure
the
she's
Bite of
dead.
83.
Guess we'll find out in the sequel. And that's it! 5 Nights at Freddy's was released in 2023
But
and kicked
Bite of
ass
83
at
was
the
like a
box
kid
office.
being
I'll be
killed,
sure to
but-
cover the sequels that are undoubtedly on their way, but until then, I'm James H.
It's already out.
This has been the Kill
It's
Count.
already,
Thanks
the
a lot for
sequel's
watching this
already
5
out.
Nights at Freddy's
And
Kill
we're
Count.
gonna be getting the 3rd movie next year, speculated in fall. So be on the lookout for that. Anyways, make sure to like to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to James H. Janice as well. AKA Dead Meat. If you guys want more reactions on his channel or these videos, make sure to leave a like, comment, and see you guys next video and our live stream. Peace.